Well, that's good. And of course, it's a Navajo, which I don't speak. I have translators. I go, that's good, but we're going to do it really loud. Okay, your buddy's at the far end of the room, and you've got to make him hear you, because he's not going to hear you, and you need help. Understand? Uh-huh. And in Navajo. See. I've been hit. Okay, I'm coming into the booth. I'm going to hold you up. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. And I go, okay, you're going to hear the 3 beats on the 4th imaginary beat. You say your line big and loud. Scream it to the other side of the room. Uh-huh. Beat. And he starts off, I've been hit! And I stuck my finger in his back. And I got what I wanted. but anyhow, I mean, these people were untrained, but we had to do it in the Navajo language. And you have stuff like that. But if you are going to compete, you have got to know how to do all this. Voice classes, acting classes, those are your tools. You are your only tool you have.
Yeah. So the mic picks up everything. That's why I stopped wearing chainmail underwear.
Only on anniversary.
It'd be painful, actually. I have to rethink that. Ellen covered a lot of good points, and a lot of it is just like, breath control and things like that, and things that an actor needs. And it's very important as a voice actor to warm up your voice before. I mean, I was working on this Call of Duty game, and basically it was a scream fest, and I was supposed to be there for 4 hours, and the guy kept me there for 6 hours, just screaming my ass off for 6 hours. And at the end of the thing, he says, I've saved the best 10 loops for the end of the game. I said, what are the best 10 loops? He said, you're being burned alive by a flamethrower. And I need 10 of them, 30 seconds long, and go. So, and then of course I had a Hallmark card, a commercial for the radio the next day, and I had like no voice at all. But, basically, there's a lot of things you learn, a lot of tricks you learn, and this gentleman here asked me some of the stuff that came to the table that we're out there asking me about when you're screaming and yelling, how do you protect your voice? And the best thing you can do is just keep it wet, drink a lot of water while you're in there, and, try not to tighten your throat when you're screaming. That's really important. You have to know how to yell. Because we do this for hours and hours. People can go, I can scream, and they get in there and they do two or three screams, and they have no voice left. And so we do it for hours because we know how to do it. We've been doing this a long time, and we're pros, and we work at it. So there's certain things you need to learn about that. Also, you were asking me about demo tapes for people who want to be actors in this business. And he was saying to me he had nothing really that he could put on his demo. I said, well, you can create your own demo. And the thing is, the way you do that is basically you make a list, sit down one day, and just write down the voices that you think you do strongly. And don't put down, I do Donald Duck, or I do Mickey Mouse, or because they have people that do that, and nobody cares that you can imitate somebody else who's doing a voice right now. But if you can do something unique to your own voice, and just make a list of the different voices that you do, and write a line or two of dialogue for those characters, and do those lines, and then maybe you can do it, or have a friend put some music and effects to it, and keep it under a minute and a half at the most, and you'll have a good demo, and you can start sending that around for animation. So, yes?
Yeah, for voice acting. For those who maybe want accents but don't exactly have accents, what would your advice be for them?
Don't do it. Because you're going to be competing against people that are brilliant at it. Mm-hmm. And if you have a crappy accent, then don't do it. Only do the stuff that you feel really, really confident about, that you feel really strong about. You don't want to put stuff that's weak on there because then they won't hire you. Right?
Sure.
In the game industry, you've probably seen a lot of games where they'll say some Russian forces are attacking the U.S. and you hear a voice and you might think, oh, that's not very good accent. And a lot of the times they do get by and they'll hide wherever they can. But again, it's the game is being recognized. So if there's not a perfect accent, you'll still find jobs, but sometimes the end user.
Just wanted to say, generally, what we ask for when we're auditioning people is an mid-Atlantic accent. And what that is just a clear, accented voice. Now, maybe while you're in the booth, there's a guy, the Russian guy, and they go, can you do, oh, but yes, I can do a Russian. And so you slip into it. Now, it's good to have those in your back pocket, but if you're going to do a demo, keep the voices to the ones that are in your wheelhouse. It's actually what I call the money voices. Your money voice is basically the voice that's within you. That's the voice you use all the time. For instance, Richard's money voice is the big, strong, authoritarian kind of guy. And my money voice is more, I do a lot of mom, so I guess the mom voice is a lot. I mean, that's not the only voices that we do. We do tons and tons. But it's like, if you've got a very young voice and you're a young girl, if you've got a very young voice and you're a guy, I mean, those are money voices. And when I mean money voices, I mean good money voices, because those are going to be generally the voices you're going to be tasked at most of the time. So put down your wheelhouse. But again, don't do your demo until you have taken some classes. And again, find somebody who knows how to do this, who really is good at it. Because there's a lot of scammy things out there, and there's a lot of people who will charge you a lot of money, and they don't have the knowledge. So do your research before you get taken monetarily. Do your research. Find out what has this guy done. Don't take an intensive and say, oh, I studied with this person, and then think you've got it. You need to have an ongoing class. Yes.
I have a question for all four of you, but I need to ask it differently because of your fields. So, for the voice actors, do you find that you get a character and a picture of the character, say the Joker for the games, and go, we want you to do a voice for this character, or do you find it more that you have a description of the character and maybe not even a sketch yet prepared?
It's all different, it just depends. Sometimes you'll go into your picture, and for me, a picture's great. Once I see a picture of this guy, I know what he sounds like. But sometimes you don't get a picture, sometimes you get a description of what the character's like. So you have to really listen and look at it and try to find clues in the description about this person. And sometimes the thing I absolutely hate, but they do it a lot, is they'll go, he's like a Brad Pitt kind of guy, or, he's like a George Clooney kind of guy, or it's like, no, I really hate that, because it's like, then you wind up trying to sound like these actors instead of trying to be the character. Tell me what the character's like. I don't want to know what you think in your head that this guy might sound like. Tell me what this character's about, and then let me come up with a voice for the character. But it's all different. Sometimes you'll have a great director in it, who gives you a lot of context and tell you what's going on and help you, and then other times you get a guy who either doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't want to tell you anything, he just wants to see what you're going to come up with. And in those cases, you just have to jump in with both feet and just commit to whatever it is you've decided to do with this character and go for it. So.
Also, one of the things that comes up, he's very brash, but he's a little bit shy. He's intimidating, but yet he's very sensitive. I mean, again, he's tall but he's short. He's thin but he's fat. And so basically you're not getting a description at all. And so if you can, the best thing to do is to ask the director, can you be more definitive? And sometimes they'll say, I don't know, this is what they gave me.
In a similar fashion for the gaming industry, do you find that you get a lot of, let's start with pitches, say, that do a fighting game, but I want to base it on the Capcom versus Marvel Universe. What do you find is I have this brand new idea for a game, it's got this story, it's got these characters. Which one do you see?
I think the latter us more, but unfortunately, it's not something that a lot of companies, whether big or small, are looking for. Because everyone has an idea. So people come to either me or other people in the industry and say, hey, I have this great idea. What should I do with it? The first thing I'd say is have something to show. If you have an idea, you have some concept art, maybe a playable demo, something else to get started to build. If you're just starting from scratch, find other people in the community. You're here today for a 2-day event. Network with other people here and find out someone you can work with. Before you approach, just realize that there's so much competition going on. Instead of just coming forward with a great idea, act upon that idea, have something to show, and it also creates motivation for yourself. If you can't take that first step before you approach someone else, to pitch your idea, that means that you maybe don't have enough motivation to complete that. So people really want to see before you come up with a pitch, act on that idea, and see if you can get to the next step. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing. Ideas are worth absolutely nothing. Execution is worth absolutely everything. It doesn't matter how great your idea is, 100 more people have exactly the same idea. We're all looking at the same stuff. As far as where the ideas come from, it's from a production side. You either get we approach developers and say, you need a game that does this, show us your game already that does this. Or from a creating games internally, all that stuff comes internally, and it's a iterative process. No one comes, no one brings a design document and that's the game. That doesn't make sense.
So, real quick, I didn't so for your specific field, would you recommend things like portfolio sometimes? Like, so somebody just coming up and starting up and has been really little to no experience, what's the best way to approach kind of like,
Start doing it now.
no matter what, just how you
Yeah, doesn't matter what your field is. If you,
create games, create testing?
yes, absolutely. There's nothing stopping you. The only thing stopping you is you're not wanting to learn the skills you need to learn. That's all you can.
I just want to say, if a college discussion of the game industry is best pitches, that is not very the same. People make games, if the game itself is good, then it has to publish, but there's not the same where somebody goes to like a big game company and says, hey, I have a great idea for a game, and the big game company goes, wow, I think you're going to, I mean, it happens very rarely, get a lot of money.
What usually happens is that a company will come to us with a pitch and basically the game, running in a way that we can see where it can go.
Right.
So I worked on a kart racer, and it came to us almost finished. And we basically said, well, we kind of like the mechanics you're doing, but we're going to put, X million dollars into it and use our characters. Because your characters are stupid and we hate them. Yes.
Can you understand this better than
Oh, I understand that from social voice actors, so let's say you have your demo, what you do next? Like, who you send it to, or like, how do you find out that it's something?
Go to medical school.
It sounds like a regret.
It depends upon where you live.
Yeah, where do you live? Here? Well, if you really want to be a voice actor in the game industry or in animation, you got to go to Los Angeles.
Hold on, New York has a lot. New York has a lot of. I'm in New York.
Go to medical school. In New York.
I mean, New York has studios. ADV Post is one of our friends' studios there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studios in New York.
But they
New
honestly
York,
don't do as
Texas,
much as we do.
and LA are the three places that do stuff.
Texas does more
In
animation.
Canada. In Canada.
Texas
There
does
are
that?
places to go. I mean,
What?
you can be just a voice actor. You can be pretty much anywhere on the planet. Because you can read commercial copy and send it in by your computer. But if you want to be somewhere where they can hire you and do most of the animation and most of the games are done in Los Angeles. And that's just a fact. I mean, if that's something you really want to do, then you have to go there and do that. Once you have your demo, you asked me that question, once you have your demo, start sending it out. Start sending it out to agents, first of all, and see what the response is, and see if anyone's interested and if they like you. Because the agents, if they like you and they sign you, they can start submitting you for jobs. And that's how that works.
But you go to voicebank.net, because
Listen to what's
there
out there.
you can see what your competition is going to be. And if your demo is not as strong as some of them out there, you're not going to book. You're not going to be sent out.
For those of you who are in the area, there's a couple of AAA companies, plus they're active in Bethesda software, so they make stuff like XCOM, Civilization,
Yep.
and Bethesda Skyrim, obviously.
I'm on XCOM. I'm on XCOM.
It's directed and stuff, and Maryland.
I said I'm on XCOM. You're saying that they record stuff here?
I'm saying company.
Oh, they I'm on 2 XCOM.
So since you're not out there on the West Coast, before you
Wait, Enemy Within too?
they probably have content from the West Coast. So one way to approach the game, getting companies across your local offices here, see what else you can find out about their offices.
So to kind of add on to what he's saying, right, with, they've got you doing meetups and all that stuff like IGDA, if you're particular, you create some kind of way where you become a member of the IGDA and you join the meetup and you can follow up and, you know, nothing's going to fall in your lap. I mean, you've got to actually go out and kind of fight for it and get it. And so definitely if you join the meetup and follow up with them, if you're in Baltimore, you get to see the documents from both the IGDA. We get to some recent names over that are in here right now, and we get to see their range and see if you want to go out. So we got
I would say also, if you're in this area and you want to be a voice actor, I would find out what's going on in this area. I'm sure there's agents here that do some sort of voice acting work or voiceover work. And whatever you have, the more stuff you have on your belt before you get out there is obviously going to be a help to you. If you just go out there cold and say, I'm here, I'm ready to work, you don't know what's going to hire you. But at least if you have a bunch of stuff, you can try to get some commercials locally, try to do some voiceover for stuff. The more stuff you have, the more experience you have, the better you'll be once you get in, you know.
And it's not like what you said earlier, you know, it's like just do it. You know, if you're not doing it, and you've got nothing to show to put in that portfolio. So everything that you said, do it, do something, and you can kind of give people and say, hey, this is a dumb game I call Limbo, and now, you know, make $2 million. It's great. So definitely just put it up and you got one question?
Yeah, so when it comes to getting into gaming from a business perspective, all the jobs that I see out there, everyone's always talking about programmers, everyone's always voice actors, things like that. What about people who want to get into gaming from a promotions, marketing, PR kind of standpoint, or even investing? I know, you know, financially everything about Activision, EA, top down as a business perspective, but everybody always talks about the programming jobs, about.
So the best way to get into those is to actually go to the careers section of their website to see what is available, and if there's no open job openings listed, the jobs are still there. They might need someone internally, but they haven't advertised yet. Email the generic email address, or call them directly. Ask them about how you can be a part of their project with the background that you have. Since I mentioned I'm working with both AAA companies and with India as well, on the indie side, they don't have any budget for marketing and business. And sometimes there's 1 or 2 people doing everything, right? So they're not going to hire a full-time business person. But the other companies, as I mentioned, they do advertise from on their job site. And if they don't, reach out to them directly.
I've been applying to the same company for 4 years, so a lot of them, the issue is that they won't hire you without any experience. And some of the people I keep telling you to go to or check out Gaming Q-Bag. That's a great way to start out. 5 or 6 years out of college, you know, you get used to a certain lifestyle.
Right.
And
Q-Bag is not going to cut. It's not going to take you to that marketing.
Q-Bag is like $25,000 a year.
Right. So another way to get in is to actually not get into the gaming industry first. Try doing marketing for maybe other media companies or in other industries. And then when you apply to the gaming industry, you already have that experience doing marketing and business stuff for another company, and they may take a step like that.
And the insurance, some companies that you guys hire interns sometimes and just straight to
Right. And interns we do are still in college. So we do a lot of college interns from either first year, the last year, senior year of college, or grad school?
Yeah, so, because I've been trying to stay parallel to the gaming industry by staying in software, right? And so, I mean, that's, I've been doing PR, for software companies for 6 years now, and I'm just trying to, so you just, if you apply the demo, and not,
Right, if that works well for you to improve your skills, just practice on your skills in social media. See if you can make a name for yourself there, and then take those skills, take your portfolio, your resume, and then go ahead and put it in front of people.
So I was just going to say, it depends on what your background is. Like if you have an MBA, then, you've got a leg up on people that don't. Someone's not having, if this guy doesn't have an MBA. But what, if you're working in a parallel field, great. You're going to get turned down a lot because there's not many people find those jobs. Just brush it off and do it again. Not the same places over and over and over, of course. But, don't take rejection as anything but we don't need you right now. And the industry is all about who you need right now at this particular time and for this particular role. So don't take any of that personal.
Just to add on to that, right, if you don't have, you say you got 50 experience, but for those of you guys that don't have any experience, you're going to have to kind of turn up volunteerism of the camera a little bit and kind of do as much as you can, even if you're not getting paid for it, you do as much as you can, because that adds on to experience. You say, hey, I helped launch this, I helped do that, and XYZ, and then that way we can actually have that in your portfolio and say, you got you may have 3 or 4 years experience, but the amount of work that you've done in those 3 or 4 years, or probably 10 years, and you might be able to have that chance for a job. And definitely, spruce up the LinkedIn. If you got a LinkedIn account, I'll tell you right now, me personally, I've got like 2 different roles. I'm like that. I'm like Bruce Wayne is that there, and both of them are pretty tight, and definitely keep up and then reach out to folks and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, and then next time you need.
So I graduated with a BA in 3D modeling. Anything I should be doing specifically to get in?
So see if you can find out among your friend circle and other communities, like as you mentioned, IDB events, that there are programmers or developers that don't have any software modeling skills, and there's going to be a lot of them, and they're looking for people to work for them. And as I think you mentioned, sometimes some volunteer work might help you build up your portfolio before you can find a paying job to do that. So let's say you have a full-time job right now, and you have like modeling skills for the view, and you've met other game developers in the area. You can pull together your research and publish your game, and maybe you'll still make money off it. Maybe you're not getting paid as you're working on it, once you get released, it might work out. So then the local Microsoft offices actually run one of these monthly events where it's game development, but also bring in app developers and game developers to showcase their creation. So it'd be a great place for you to send us and say, hey, I have these great modeling skills, here's some things I've built, let me know if you guys want me in your game, and maybe one or more of the developers might also do a paid position, whether it's a fixed amount or maybe an ongoing thing. Definitely come to me afterwards if you're interested in that. That's open to anyone here. If you're interested in connecting in the community, let me know. And I do every third Thursday at the Microsoft office in the evening, in Virginia, and I'll provide information to come to me.
I just want to make a point real quick too. If you are a good modeler, and you're looking to pick up a little bit of freelance work, I do hire a lot of people off the ends, and I hire on a regular basis. So if you got skills, then
also, in communities, a Unity Asset Store is a place where people can download free assets built by other people and also paid assets. So if you think yourself good enough in comparison to what other people have been building, if you're starting out for the first time in Unity Asset Store, just offer your stuff for free to make a name for yourself, and then make some better models and offer those for a big amount. And people paying $5 here, $10 there, will give you a lot more if it's out people down there. So looking at that.
Kind of a segue to what you said about the freelance work. For people who have some more supporting IT skills, like sysadmin, CDA, security people, is there a trend in the industry to bring more of those people in-house, or is it tending to be more contract third-party vendors?
I don't know specifically, I couldn't really answer that, but as a general trend, I'm seeing more people using cloud services and stuff that they don't have to bring in-house as much, but I don't know what the trend is generally.
So So me personally, I do that. I think I'm just getting to know my kids that act for me. So, so you can make some insurance, cybersecurity, things like that. Any other questions? Feedback?
It is hard. That is how it is working days.
But that's like the jumping off point, right?
Well, no, it is, I'm just saying personally, I hire a lot of people from events, and like, I'm not looking at specifically the price someone's offering things for, I'm looking at the quality of their work before anything else. Like, if someone is, bidding $5 on like, an asset that I need, and their work is crap, I'm not gonna hire them. But if someone's, bidding, $500 to $1,000 for the same thing as what I need, I mean, that's still I need, then, yeah, I mean, but it's hard work. And it's really competitive, and it pays like crap, and that is the games industry in a nutshell.
So can you explain what that's like?
Oh, Events it's just a freelancing platform. You can basically sign up to take jobs from people that are offering jobs. So, for example, if I need sound design, I might go on Events and say, like, give them an asset list and say, I need these things, and then take people's portfolios to be able to get a set of sound assets that match what I'm looking for.
Is there separate from voice actors and actors in general?
Well, I mean, there are other factors on Events, but I'd say the quality is not as good as,
You guys didn't use that at all?
No.
Oh, I mean, you guys.
We work through our agent.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It is indeed, yes. It's extremely difficult, but, you don't take every single job that is offered in any sort of freelancing, gig. You take people that can actually pay you what you need to do the work to their standards. If you're taking everything, then yeah, you're going to get overwhelmed, and it's not going, nobody's going to be happy. And, I mean, that's, what am I going to say about that?
So what things like it from writing video games and like scripting or dialogue and how much you go about doing that?
From a production point of view, every piece of that I've ever done has been a contract. I don't work with like internal people. We don't have internal writers because we don't need writing services often enough to require them.
So Richard and Linda, do you guys know where folks like go to buy the service for something to make a game? Like what third party do they use?
Well, we've both done some of it. I mean, we've both written a lot of scripts and stuff like that, but it's not that we actually have a company that is at entertainment. We do all of this stuff, anything that has to do with the voice work or writing, directing. We kind of encompass that, but we don't really seek that stuff out particularly. People come to us and ask us, like you were saying, Dave, there's not stuff. Most companies don't have internal writers to make people around to do that stuff because they'll go out and freelance all that stuff.
Except there, I mean, I think Crave Entertainment works in-house only.
Well,
I mean, there's
everything we say and everything you hear is going to be accepted to the rules. So I mean, there's companies that work different ways. There's games that are completely different. It just depends on what it is and who they are. But
And networking definitely helps if you're at an industry event, whether it's D3 or GDC, make time and the data minutes to go and attend those and talk to people about it. So let's say there's something, you have a great idea, you're not going to report out to in front of everyone, because everyone can hear it. Go up to people one-on-one, talk to people about the majority in the industry, and see what they think about your idea, and as a professional for the end, because revenue, actually, figure out anything, figure out anything.
And